Hi everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Hi everybody. I hope the sound is on here. Today's video and notes, we're going to do notes, so you can get set up for notes. The title of the notes is going to be Solving 1 and 2 step equations. I'm going to run out of room to write equations. That says equations. Equations. Solving 1 and 2 step equations. So go ahead and get set and put a title in. And actually this first part I'm going to do in pink. You don't have to, well, yes, let's put it in notes. Okay. So I'm going to say the equation 5x equals 15. And I'd like you to just stop and see if you can come up with the solution to that equation. Many of us can come up with the solution to that equation without having to think too much. We get this solution that is x equals 3. And so my question to you is why? So you can take that in pink. This part in red that I'm going to write, you don't need to put in a solution. I'm just going to put in your notes. I'm just going to write this out. Why is x equals 3 the solution? Okay, and I'm going to say, what's so special about 3? So I'd like you to pause and think about that. Okay, and now we're going to talk about it. So a lot of people, some of the things that you might have come up with about what's so special about 3 is you might have come up with 3 times 5, 5 times 3. Hang on, I'm trying to change the color of this. Sorry. You might be coming up with, well, 5 times 3 is 15. You might be coming up with 15 divided by 5 gives us 3. Okay. And those are not, you're not wrong. Really, 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 what's special about 3 is that 3 is the value that makes the equation true. It's the only value. So, I'm about to erase this. You don't really need this in your notes. What I'm going to start right now, you definitely need. So if you don't have all this red and blue stuff, that's fine. So this is definitely for your notes. A solution to an equation is a value or values that make the equation true. A solution to an equation is a value or values that make the equation true. So if you had this equation x plus 1 equals 4. Oh, we did 3 before. Let's do x plus 1 equals 8. Just to change it up so you don't get mixed up. X plus 1 equals 8. Not a great looking 8. The solution, x equals 7, is the value that makes the equation true. Because 7 plus 1 is 8. So when we solve an equation, we are looking for values that make the equation true. Hopefully this isn't going under my head. I can't tell where my, okay. So we have a process. So many equations can be solved with mental math. And I'm going to give you permission here. If you can solve it with mental math and get it right, go for it. So anytime you see an equation that you can solve with mental math right now, you have my permission to mental math it up. Okay? However, we're going to get equations that we can't solve with mental math. For example, 1.2x minus 4.5 equals negative 8.7. Not very many of us are going to be able to do that with mental math. Okay, so I am going to give you some steps to use when you cannot solve with mental math. Okay, so this is for 1- and 2-step equations. First, our goal is to isolate the variable. Our tools are inverses, which means opposites. And the rule, thou shalt doest unto one side as thou doest to the other. Do the same thing to both sides. Whatever you do to change one side, you need to do, that's supposed to be an E, you need to do the same thing to the other. Okay, so I'm going to erase that if you've got that. So first, so when isolating the variable, I keep jumping ahead of myself here. To isolate the variable, isolate means get alone. First, add the opposite. To both sides. Second, multiply or divide. Again, it's going to be the opposite. Do the opposite, the inverse operation. Okay. When you add the opposite to both sides, you're going to use the rules. You're going to use your addition rules. When signs are the same, you're going to add and keep the sign. When signs are different, you're going to subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, the bigger, in quotes, number. And when you have multiplication and division, you've got positive times a positive is a positive, negative times a negative is a positive, positive times a negative is a negative, negative times a positive. Uh-oh, I think those might be, hopefully my head isn't blocking that last one, but you guys know those rules. Okay, so I'm going to do an example, and then we're done with this video. So here we go. Let's do 0.2 x minus 4.3 equals negative, we'll do, I think, 8.7. It looked something like that. Okay, so first, so when we look at this equation has multiplication and it has adding a negative or subtraction. So we're going to start by adding the opposite. So we're going to add 4.3 to both sides. Okay, over here, signs are different. So we're going to subtract. So 8.7 minus 4.3, 7 minus 3 is 4, 8 minus 4 is 4, and keep the sign of the bigger number, so negative 4.4 equals 0.2x. See, we've almost got the x isolated. Okay, now our next step is divide both sides by 0.2. Okay, we have a negative divided by a positive, so our answer is going to be negative. We've got an x on this side because this the 0.2 divided by the 0.2 cross each other out. 4.4 divided by 0.2. Have to remember our decimal division. Pop the decimal over, pop the decimal over. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 4, 0, 4, 2 goes into 4 2 times. Negative 22. Okay, and you could check to see if you got it right by substituting it into the equation and see if the equation is true. So this video went on a little longer than we like. I like to keep them at 10 minutes. It's late on a long Wednesday, so I apologize for that. We're going to practice this in class tomorrow. So this is it for your academic block work today. Hope it worked well for you guys. See you tomorrow.